Welcome, everyone, to another great episode of Beyond the Diploma. Here we talk about life after graduation, identifying yourself in your 20s, some spirituality, get into some business, some good business, though. We not messy, some good business, and a place where I can hear myself talk, but listen to other people talk as well. We have a balance here, yes. So I have my friend is here, guys, like an amazing, amazing guest. So here's the accolades. Today's guest is one of them ones. He's a celebrity host as well as a host for the Hornets and Swarm basketball team. He's also toured to multiple colleges, especially HBCUs, hosted y'all homecoming, some step shows. He's an on-air talent for 102 Jams, has his own nonprofit called CDK Cares, because he cares. He is an Aggie, and the list just truly goes on. I cannot fit it all in here. But let's please give a warm welcome to CDK.
Hey, CDK in the building. What's up? Lady E, how we feeling?
Hi. I'm so happy you're here.
I'm having a great time.
Let me tell y'all how busy he is. When I first was like scheduling people, he was like one of the first people I hit up, and I was like, yeah, I need to do the podcast. That was like back in like late August, September.
That was that long ago?
Yeah. It's January.
I didn't realize
they won't see this till about March, maybe February, March. So I'm so happy to finally have your time.
Thank you for
being in my presence. I'm loving the fit as well.
Thank you.
Break this jacket down to me.
You know what I'm saying? Some blues. You know what I'm saying? Like PacSun, that's smooth. I got this from I get this from Shein.
Okay, Shein.
Is it Shein? Shein? I don't know. One of the
Shein.
two. Hoodie I got, cargo pants, and then I got some blue Jordans on. You know,
fine.
It feel like 18 degrees outside. Like
right now. I have on a dress.
Hey,
it's actually not feel that bad. But I had my little puffer coat, but it didn't really feel like too crazy for real. But okay, so I want to get to know you better. Mm-hmm. So some people may not know that you grew up, kind of early on in the entertainment industry. Mm-hmm. You did like some commercials, a child actor and stuff, model.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your upbringing for a little bit before we dive into your experience at A&T and leading on to that.
Mm-hmm. So I did John Casablanca in AMTC. If you know, you know.
Oh.
If you know, you know.
I do, actually.
You did it?
I auditioned for John Casablanca.
Oh, my God. That's crazy.
I did.
So they were the reason why I had an afro. So when I was with AMTC, I had a fro, and I was like, portraying this like young Michael feel, right?
Little
and
Jackson
I had
5.
Jackson 5 for sure. Like, so I was with AMTC first when I was from the ages of maybe 3rd grade to 5th grade, and then did acting courses. So it's AMTC stands for Acting, Modeling, Talent for Christ.
Okay, amen.
Amen, right?
Oh.
Okay. So well, long story short, I was contestant number 50. We did that for about 6 months to a year, and I ended up going to Florida for this competition where you get callbacks. So I got like callbacks from like Tyler Perry Studios at the time, all these other places. So I got like 11 callbacks to eventually move on to do other things. Nothing really came out of that.
Okay.
And then I stopped for like maybe a year and some change, and I went on to John Casablanca. So John Casablanca, I did modeling, but they wanted me to give a little bit of an older feel. So by this time, I was maybe like 12, 13. And I had an afro that was always my image, and I cut it. So I had got waves. And this is the only time I ever like had a brush cut in my life. Like, I've always had hair, braids, mohawks, all types of crazy stuff. Yeah. So I did that.
Black boy magic.
Black boy magic, fact. So I did that, and then nothing really came out of that either. But it did give me stage presence. So
nice.
Both programs were amazing for what they did as far as like getting me comfortable in front of the camera, improv, speaking to people, and being comfortable in my body.
That's good. So, long story short, you always knew you was that guy, basically. Like, you knew you wanted to be in the entertainment industry, or did it just kind of like... Well, maybe let me ask this. Were your parents heavily in the entertainment industry?
No. No. They put me there, though. They put me there. So, I had always been doing plays since even before I got into, like, AMTC. So, like, the GPAC back in Raleigh, which is the Garner Performance Arts Center, we used to have plays every summer. So my mom is an educator as well as Miss Honeycutt. So Miss Honeycutt and her son, we're the same age. So we used to do from preschool all the way up until like then. We were very tight. And his mom was the one that was overseeing the talent. So and also my drama teacher from my elementary school was the coach for the over summer program that we used to have. So it was 12 weeks. It was called the Town Players. And we used to do musicals and things like that. But I was not that guy. Like, I could not sing. I couldn't dance.
My next question would be like, all right, scene.
No.
Monologue right now.
I couldn't sing, dance. I was always like a decent actor. But what really kicked off everything was when I hosted the pre-show. So I would never have like huge roles. But they were like, nah, like, you're really good with like directing people and like just bringing energy and being able to host. At the time, I didn't really know what that was. So they were like, we're going to make you the host of the pre-show. I had like this cool outfit on. I had intros I wrote out for everybody. Like it was big. So that's what kind of introduced me to like actually formally hosting, which was my senior year in high school.
Nice. Yeah. That's really good. So transitioning now into college.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you a business because some people might not know this about you.
All right. What's up?
You were in the band.
Yeah, I was.
What instrument did you play?
I played euphonium. For people that don't know, it's like baritone or a bigger trumpet. So that's what euphonium is. Yeah.
Did you always play instruments or like, were you in the band in high school and then you transition doing it into college?
So I was always in band. I was in band from like 6th grade until. So I started off in trumpet at Carnage Middle School. Shout out to my dad and my grandpa who played trumpet too.
Okay.
Then I went to euphonium because one day, we were doing like a playing test in band, and I ain't feel like being in there. So I went in there and I had did an audition for concert band, and he was like, "Here, play this," and it was a baritone. So I'm like, "All right, whatever." So it put me in a higher band, and everybody else was an intermediate band, but I was a concert band because nobody played the instrument I played.
Okay.
Now was I good enough to be in concert band? No, but I was there.
You were there, so you were.
Yeah, from there on, I just played my instruments, and yeah, I was in band more so for like discipline though. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a different take because, a lot of people do band because, they grew up doing it, so they want to continue to do it throughout their college years.
Yeah.
But yours was for discipline. Why?
I was not him on the horn either. Like, I'm gonna be transparent with y'all. I was not him with like none of that. Like, I was in band because like the things they teach you, like being 15 minutes early everywhere. Accountability is the word. That's if you walk in the band room, it's on the top of the over the podium. So that's accountability that we had to look at every single day. Just people holding you accountable. Like it's real. It's real. So like being in band, I think helped me have some type of schedule because like having like ADD and stuff like that, like I knew that all my classes had to be done by 3:00. And after 3:00, we had to be in band practice about 3:45. From 3:45 to 9, 10, maybe 11 sometimes, we would be in practice. So I had like a structure similar to high school to where I would have my classes in the morning, go to practice, and then you go on about your day. So as a freshman, I definitely needed that because I was outside. So,
I think everybody freshman year was outside. Mind you, I came in during COVID and I was still outside.
Oh, yeah.
With the mask. No, that's really good. So outside of just doing band, I do know that you were a part of the amazing radio station at A&T, WNAA 90.1 FM The Voice. Shout out to Miss Murphy, Miss Alani. I feel like I'm missing a name. Who else?
So I had a class. So I ain't gonna lie. I was part of WNA for like, I had a class with Mr. Wilberforce.
Okay.
That's his name.
I feel like you're saying it wrong, but
I probably am. I'm not gonna lie. I was never in that class.
I just never personally worked with him, but we're on the same page.
It started with a W. I ain't gonna lie, I was never in that class. No, because by the time I had already had an internship at Jams. So how the internship at Jams came about, I worked with Fresh Empire for a little bit. And Fresh Empire was the non-smoking campaign. And
I remember Fresh Empire. Yeah. Wow, that's good.
All the people that worked at Fresh Empire, like my bosses and stuff, they worked at the station.
Okay.
And I needed the internship, obviously, to graduate. So my junior year, I was doing events with them, hosting and stuff like that, and doing like stage manager, event prep and stuff like that. And I was talking to them about it. I was like, yo, I want to get in the radio, but I don't want to go to 102 Jams. At the time, I didn't know they worked there. So I'm talking crazy. I'm like, everybody go over there. Like, I ain't trying to do that.
You trying to be different.
Yeah, I'm trying to go back home to my home radio station or whatever. They're like, nah, I think you should apply. So I'm like, okay, bet. So I applied. Shout out to Casey. Casey was my manager at the time over the interns.
Okay.
Miss Perry, Maya, she was also, her and Casey were like co-heads of like, I want to say event production at the time. And then Marky Mark was the host. But he was the night job at Jams at the time. He had just came back from Foxy 99 in Fayetteville.
Okay.
But at the time, nobody knew who was coming back.
Okay.
So, yeah. So I was just with them all the time. And that's how I ended up at Jams.
By talking smack.
Yeah, exactly. Like low key, you know what I'm saying? But I won't really talk crazy. It was just the fact that I was like, yeah, I want to do something different. But the whole time they weren't there. Yeah.
So outside of doing band, and of course did a little bit at WNAA and on top of your internship at 1 and 2 gyms, did you do anything else? Or was your main focus, like once you got into radio and you took off with that, your focus was radio and then leading into hosting?
So low key, okay, I was an event host first. And even still to this day, like I'm an event host turned radio personality. So that's something, another skill I had to acquire.
Okay.
While I was in college, of course I did like I had my own event company that I was running. I was a party promoter at the time. And my focus was more so on connecting with people. And I knew on a corporate level, radio was that. Like for somebody that's young, at the time I wasn't even 21, that does all these events, I needed some type of corporate backing, which is another reason why I started Fresh Empire, because my image at the time was super wild. Like it was just the boy that be crowd surfing, the boy that be, you know what I'm saying?
On the mic,
throwing these like OD parties and stuff like that. Like I just needed something that was going to bring my brand to more of a well-rounded feel. You know what I'm saying? Because at the time, wasn't nobody booking me to do their weddings, and they see me over here, you know what I'm saying? Bucanas at the time, that's what it was called. And every weekend. So that's the reason why I really got into radio, was less about like actually getting into radio, which was always like a childhood dream, but more so about like the corporate backing.
Got you. So coming up with these decisions, was this something that you just felt like you took time to reflect, or did you have like a support system around you saying like, hey, maybe you should try this out and think about this with your brand and stuff like that?
Okay, so people always say take risks, right? But it's easy to take risks when you have nothing to lose. And at the time, I have nothing to lose. So, no, really, like
nothing.
Nothing at all. Like, I didn't really have much. So, at the time, people were around me, and I was just doing anything. Like, when I say anything that came across the table that had a microphone.
What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Virgo.
Okay.
Yeah, me and Michael Jackson got the same birthday.
Period. Yeah. I miss him.
5 days before Beyonce's birthday. So shout out to all the amazing Virgos out there. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So at the time, I was just doing anything that was going to progress me, like financially or on a branding standpoint. Because, you know, that's the reason why I even started doing events, is because I needed some money. So I was like, hey,
I know that's
you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, with radio and stuff like that, I had Mark was like my first like real mentor in the entertainment space.
Okay.
So he was the one that was really letting me know, like, all right, CDK, like you need to take this serious, because this is going to lead you here. And if you want to get to this goal and obtain this, you have to do these 3 steps before you even get there. So he was the one that really broke it down to me on a business level. Shout out to this dude named Q at the time on the event side and like branding side. He was the first person to really put me on as far as like as a host. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So he was the one that was telling me, like, look, you need to be doing these things. This is the reason why your name need to be on flyers. You need to be in recap videos. You need to be doing all of this stuff. And that's where the two was colliding as far as like the entertainment side and the business side as well. So yeah.
That's good. I don't even remember necessarily what I know. Yes, I do. I asked about like mentorship and stuff like that. So now that I feel like, and from my perspective, I feel like you are exactly where you want to be. Do you still find it just as important now in your career than you did back then to still have mentors and people around you to support you and give you like a sound ear? I guess you could say sound ear, but no, sound advice, I should say.
It's more important than ever now, because like now I do have a brand, and people, like I have my own brand, like you said, like my CDK Cares initiative that I'm looking to make a nonprofit by the end of the year. Is something that is very serious. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I have a team now that I pay. I have a publicist. I have all these different things and moving parts that I have to have around me. So I have to have mentors that are already at the places that I'm trying to get, and they've seen me before. You know what I'm saying? Like, grow and things like that. Like, Beat Out is somebody that I talk to on a regular basis. And I don't want to get to calling names because I'm gonna forget somebody in this. You know how that goes. So
see, I seen the episode. You didn't mention my name.
Fact. So it's like people that have made mistakes before me that I can learn from their mistakes, and also like on a successful level, they have the blueprint to that. So and I'm really big on always being a listening ear. And that's the reason why I've gotten to where I have. Like I feel like in our generation, like Gen Z, we're rebels, and a lot of people don't listen. But being able to listen and low key, like from an ego standpoint, sometimes people like don't like being a little bro. But it's like I don't mind being that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like people that got 20 years on me, 15 years on me, like why not sit down and listen to what they got going on? And it's like I can progress my path a little bit faster if I don't go down the same roads that has been already done before me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and not do the same mistakes.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think sometimes, you are going to have your own personal challenges and lessons that you're going to have to learn. But I definitely agree. If you take the time to sit down and kind of listen, don't talk, but just actually,
facts,
but listen to understand, and that people are coming from a place of, genuineness, and they actually care about your future. You could probably really get something out of it. Now, I'm not saying you take everybody's advice, because sometimes everyone's advice is not meant for you, because what they was doing back then, you probably wasn't doing. But I do definitely agree with that. That's really good. Let's get some snaps for that. Shout out to you.
Snaps. Period. That's what we say. Period. I like that.
Yes. Period. So, I am not trying to be messy when I ask this. So, did you actually graduate?
All right. So, hey, let's just say my tuition is paid and we good.
I know. Snaps for that again. Aggie pride always. Aggie pride always. Okay. I love that. So, now that we have gone through that and stuff like that, what is your opinion on manifestation? Like, do you think that the life that you're living right now is what you potentially thought it would look like? Did you think it would be completely different? Or you just feel like, yeah, I knew this was going to happen for me?
So, truthfully, recently within the last year, I started to move differently with my career, like more so with intention. Because before, I'm going on year 8 coming up, I want to say. Before, I was just doing anything, and I was like, once I do the work, God is going to do the rest, which I still believe, right? But it was more so about like having goals. Like with my team, at the end of every year, we do like this big debriefing thing where it's like a huge, like not necessarily a survey, but a form that I fill out. And it's like about goals that I want to make within the next year, 3 months, 6 months, quarter 2, quarter 4. And it kind of gives me a way to project my career. And even if things don't go necessarily that way, that's okay. It's just goals that are being set so that we have a goal to work, that we're working towards. Because before, I was just doing anything in the direction of entertainment. But now it's being more so intentional about that. But I still think you can manifest and believe in your dreams and move forward with that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that that's important as well. So yeah, that's kind of where I am with the manifestation. And there are goals that I'm trying to obtain this year, because before I was just like waking up every day like, look, whatever come tomorrow is gonna come tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So and I still kind of do that to this day.
That's a Virgo in you. But you have a good work ethic, I feel like. Are there times, because I feel like you're an entrepreneur for the most part, like you are the job. Are there times, not trying to get in your business, but in your business.
Yeah.
But are there times where you feel like things are kind of slow? Right
now. Like, okay, I'm gonna tell you, like no funny. Like the real reason why I originally even got into sports is because from November to February, entertainment goes dry. Like after Thanksgiving, really Christmas, entertainment is off. Even when I worked at record labels and stuff like that, like everything slows down until really like February, because that's when people come back from break. It's like the month of like January 13th, maybe like 6th, depending on what day of the week it falls on. It's most of the time when entertainment comes back up. So like for those 2 months, it kind of like is real slow. It's no concerts, there's no events. It's cold outside. Everybody like is just stopping. But I've learned over the pandemic, like when everything was always slow, because there was no events, I've learned ways to, maneuver and get things done. So it's slow seasons, but that's also learning, because when I was young and I didn't really get it, I was like, the money that I had in front of me was the money. I was like, okay, well, I'll get paid again tomorrow.
Okay.
As an entrepreneur, like sometimes, and this is where it is right now. Like I said, I have people to pay on top of like being able to understand that you might have to front things, right? So I might get a check that I might not get for an event for 60 days, 90 days. You just got to hold out for that. You got to take care of your travel expenses and they'll reimburse you on the back end. But when you're dealing with these big corporations, that's what you might have to go through, maybe a 30-day check. So I have to have money to sustain until those checks hit. So it's like being an entrepreneur, getting a rhythm of my stuff. And I mean, now I'm good. But it's like, yeah, it definitely gets slow. Like, don't believe anybody that's telling you that it don't, they're lying. So
got it.
Straight up.
They are lying.
Yeah.
So are there times, if there are times where you feel like unmotivated, or if there are times you're like, I'm not even sure if I want to do this anymore, how do you kind of reboost yourself in a sense?
Okay, so honestly, when the bookings start rolling in again, when there's things to look forward to, like I have 4 international trips that I'm booked for this year.
Hey,
that
I'm coming.
Hey, come on, pull up. So like one earlier, I'm not gonna lie, like earlier this year, I was looking around like, ooh, the calendar looking kind of crazy. But then I started literally the next day, I got booked for 6 events. Like the next day. So I was like, okay, like there's always hope. And then also believing in yourself and your own abilities that things are gonna come. Like if you have the brand what I get booked for now mostly is like not even just my talent, but like the brand that I've built. So it's like that's gonna always be in high demand. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I feel like kind of gives me the motivation, knowing that I've already put in the work and people are gonna come find me. Like Prom say, I'm not hard to find.
Period. So what is your? You just mentioned brand, but then like you as a person. Tell me the difference between that, and how do you separate the two? Because you said people will get you for your brand, not because of who you are, or it could just be like vice versa.
I mean, okay, I really don't separate the two.
Okay.
Outside of like personal life stuff. Okay. So like in my calendar, I color code everything. Green is like all personal things, whether that be like self-care, like haircuts, get my locks done, going to a friend's birthday party, dinner, like all these things I schedule out. Like, and I think that I was watching a sermon by Pastor Mike on Sunday. He was like, I don't believe in organization. I believe in the orbit, like making things go around and like not really putting things in an order. And that's something I'm going to attempt to try. But because my thing is my life on a business level is so chaotic, and I have to always be available for things to change, switch, and those that are out of my control. So on a personal level, I try to overly structure things, and I'm trying to get out of that. Because I used to do things like down to the second, like not the second, but like every minute, like it's going to take me 27 minutes to get here. Okay, bet. Let me leave at 3:03, and I would move like that. And I had to kind of relax a little bit because other people may not feel that that's the most efficient way to get things done. It can drive them crazy. So when I balance things, I try to, when I have off and holidays and stuff like that, that I don't have to work, I do the same thing. Like I take off, I don't answer the phone. I might shoot a text. If it's urgent and I have to answer it, cool. But like when I'm having personal time, my phone is away and I'm dealing with whoever I'm with at that current moment. And I used to, when I was coming up, answer the phone at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, get up and go whenever. And I could realize how on a relationship standpoint, not even just on an emotional level or romantic level, but like with friends, it kind of detached me from and robbed me of those moments. And that's one thing I feel like I regret as far as undergrad. The only thing I really regret in undergrad was that I didn't make as many personal relationships as I could have. A lot of people know me as CDK, but they don't really know me as Christian. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's pretty much the same person. Yeah. It's just like,
you have the business.
Turning it off. Yeah.
Got you.
Because on a business level, like you're dealing with a different person.
Yeah, I feel that. I definitely feel that. So I want to hear some story times. So I mentioned he's a celebrity host. Any celebrity you could think in your head, I promise you, he's been around them. I promise you. You was just with Nelly and Ashanti. What was that? Is that Christmas?
That was for, well, Black and White Ball. It was like 2 weeks before Christmas. Okay. It was his fundraiser. So he did it with Make-A-Wish Foundation. He had a guy that he came up with that he also presented things to, and also a check to HBCU students in St. Louis, Hairstow.
Hey.
Yeah, so it was a fundraiser as well. And yeah, we had a really good time. Neil was there. Like you said, Nelly, Ashanti, Bow Wow, JD.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I remember when I met Bow Wow at the HBCU.
Yo, Bow Wow was one of my favorite celebrities, like, for real.
Y'all, I was so mad at you. I was like, you think I can get an interview with him? He's like, yeah. I should have just walked over and just said, Bow Wow, let me get this interview with you. Someone else told me that.
He probably would say, yeah, but at the
he
time.
Probably definitely I didn't know how to, like, hustle, but now I know. You got to follow up. You got to just go for it. But no, so I want to hear, it ain't got to be a crazy story, but what is, like, an experience? It was like, oh, I was not expecting to experience that today.
I done dealt with so many people. I'm trying to think of, like,
keep it cute.
Floyd was cool. Floyd was one of my, like, my first really, like, celebrity experience. All-Star Weekend 2019, we was in Charlotte. At the time, I'm not even 21 yet. And I was supposed to be hosting this Floyd party, but not really. Okay. Right? So we came in as promoters, and it was just kind of like, let my mans host. I was like, all right, bet. So I come up in there. I got this leather suit jacket on. I got on this turtleneck, and I got on this gold chain. At the time, Power is just not popping for real. So they thought I was Tariq from Power. I don't know. So it was him, Solo Lucci, and who else was there? Like the Dallas Cowboys was there, the Panthers was there, and this was at White Oak or White Room or Gold Room. I can't remember. It was a club in Charlotte back in the day. I don't remember because I won't even old enough to be in there for real. And the next day we had, you remember Victory Lanes, where that is? Yeah. We had a private party with them. Yeah, the next day, and it was go-karts and stuff like that. With all the labels, and Floyd was hosting that too. So Floyd comes in, he comes in with like 30 people, like security guards. Like they're surrounding everybody from every which way in the club. And he walks up on stage and he puts his arm around me. And I'm like, yo, this is Floyd Money Mayweather right now. And DJ Clue is DJing. So DJ Clue from 105.1, like, boom, like this is like one of the biggest stations in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to urban hip hop. So the fact that he's DJing, I'm hosting, Crush Groovy was there, and I'm just a 20-year-old kid in college.
Yeah.
Hosting for Floyd. When I got back to campus that next day,
you was lit.
Then the day after that, I was at the Migos party. So
I was just looking at some videos from.
Oh, you saw it? So then after that,
I was stalking your page a little bit before we got here. I was like, let me make sure I know what to ask.
I think this was Sweetie and Quavo just got together. So that was crazy. And after that was Meat Mill's party. I ain't go to Meat Mill party. I had to go back to school or whatever. So that whole weekend was crazy. I'm trying to think of another celebrity.
You was living a double life.
I was like,
that's literally a double life. You like Hannah Montana. Just
like imagine going from that and then going back to your dorm in Sweets. Like no, like for real, like
you over here with Floyd Mayweather and the Migos and Sweetie, and you back at school.
Back in school, like broke. Like you know what I'm saying? Like no, but 2019 I had some money. But yeah, so that's what it was. But I think that was one of my favorite celebrity interactions. Magic Johnson. Okay, I'm lying. Magic Johnson was one of my favorites as well. I was hosting the CLF Summit, A16Z. They have a summit for all their VCs and basketball players come through. Like Jaylen Brown presented his foundation there. Kevin Hart was one of our speakers. Okay. Magic Johnson, and I'm bringing all these people out. So mind you, like the youngin' in me is like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, so I introduced Magic Johnson. Well, I think it gets to the point where we're about to introduce Magic Johnson, and he comes on stage, and I'm backstage. So after I bring him out and stuff like that, we didn't get a chance to really interact.
Okay.
And during his speech, in the middle of his thing, he's like, who's that young man you out there hosting? And they're like, CDK on the mic. And I'm backstage. I'm like, do I go out there? Do I just go with my hand? So I walk out there. I'm like, hey, we here now.
You can call my name.
So and he speaks life into me for like 3 minutes in front of like rooms of millionaires, billionaires and billionaires. Like Colin Kaepernick was in there. Like Dougie Fresh was on the front row. Like this is all people that's in the room. And these people know me now. Like, so David Banner. And I walk up there, he speaks life into me. He's like, I want you to walk in the room. I want you to talk to everybody and make sure you get everybody's contact information and make sure you connect because at the time I'm the youngest person in there. Like, and shout out to Megan for making sure that I was able to host that summit. And that was life changing. Like, you know, like I said, like Kevin Hart was in there. You know what I'm saying? Like he was one of the presenting people. The Dream performed live later on that night. And I got a chance to meet all these different people. Yeah. And it gave me the confidence to be like, yo, well, Magic Johnson told me to come connect with y'all. So everybody's talking to me. Dougie Fresh shouting me out like during the party. Wow. This is crazy. Like, I'm FaceTiming my mom with Dougie Fresh on the phone. Like, imagine you being able to do that. Yeah. And we out here in at the Ritz-Carlton in Santa Monica in Cali. Like, and I'm doing this at the age of 25. And I'm like, that was one of the most surreal moments of my life. Like, and I still have these connections to this day to be able to connect and meet up with people. So I got a celebrity story for days. Shout out Nick,
I bet you do. Yeah. Snaps for the experiences.
Amazing times.
I love that for you. So we're going to be wrapping up, but I definitely want to get into a conversation about relationships and top of friendships as well, because I feel like when you are busy, you have opportunities coming your way, you know, some people want to throw themselves at you to be around you. Women will want to throw themselves at you to be around you. So how has that balance been for you when it comes to friendships and relationships? Has it been easy? Has there been certain challenges? Yeah.
Now it's easy, before it was not. When I was in college and undergrad and a little bit after, I think it was hard because at the time I had never really had money before. In high school, people knew me, but I wasn't necessarily popular. Okay. So being popular in college and also having money and having resources, face card and stuff like that, to be able to do things for you and stuff like that, it was hard to say no to that. And especially when women throw themselves at you. I mean, I'm in college and I'm single and I'm turned. Like, bring it on. Like, all I gotta do is put you in this party. Like, all right, bet. You know what I'm saying? Like, and tricking culture that we have now was not around then. You know what I'm saying? Like, not prominent at least. And I think that at the time I wanted to dwell in that. So the fact that I was 18, 17 when that happened, I'm 26 now. Like, I've been outside for almost 10 years. So like now that I'm past that, like, and I've been used before, I done, you know what I'm saying? Like, did my dipping and dabbling, I done ran through the streets. Like, I'm tired of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to be settled down, married with kids in like the next 2 years for
invite me to the wedding. I host the wedding.
So like in real life, like I'm really like, I've been tired of that. I know all the tricks. I know by just having certain conversations what to do and what not to do. And I mean, you can still look out for people, even for friends. Like, there are friends that like you have to create boundaries. And I was just talking to one of my mentees about this too. When you give people the time, like, okay, I can do this for you, but I need you to do X, Y, and Z, and you require something of them, you'll see who really respects you.
Yeah.
And who really respects your brand and also your face card. Because one thing about me, when I said my business and my personal is two different things, I can invite people, my friends and family to business encounters, but understand like when you're dealing with me, you're not dealing with Christian anymore. You're dealing with CDK.
Yeah.
And I have a standard to uphold for myself and my team. And there's timeliness, like I said before. Like if I tell you to be here by the time, you're not there, you could. Like I can't do nothing for you.
Yeah.
And I'm strict about that. I'm really strict when it comes to business. Real strict. Yeah. Like I'll not be playing like. So when it comes to that, being able to maneuver that, and people will cut themselves off. And you ain't even got to be the person to be like.
Yeah.
And it's even like one of the guys that I came into college with, that I built from the ground up. Like we stopped speaking maybe 3 years ago, and it was just time for that relationship to be done with.
Yeah.
And this is somebody I was with every single day. And we did so much business together to the point where now it's like things just happen because it just crumbles that way. And you have to be okay with that. Because I'm one of the people that like, somebody got to die for me to cut them off. But that's just like how deep my loyalty runs. But it has to get to a point where, do you want to be that crab that's left in the barrel because you keep trying to pull everybody, you know what I'm saying, up? You know what I'm saying? So you have to wait till you get somewhere and then be able to reach your hand back down to get comfortable in that place to be like, okay, now I'm established. I can help myself. I can help myself, so I can also help you. So finding people that find common goals and align with that, and then also adult relationships, like on a friendship level, understanding that you don't got to talk to these people every day.
Yeah.
Like my best friend from childhood, we might talk once every month. You know what I'm saying? I might see him once every 3 months. And that's just because right now we don't really share any common interests. Like he does like IT work, I'm in entertainment. He lives in Durham. I live in Charlotte. Like it's just two different things, but we still know like if something goes down or if it's time to just kick it and cool it. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Like,
they there.
Boom, or I'll pull up on his parents and all that type of stuff. So, understanding that and living and dwelling in that, but also still enjoying your 20s. It is a balance, but I feel like now I've kind of like got a little bit more rhythm to that. So I know what to understand and expect and move with intention and not rip and run the streets no more. Because, you know, I mean, that was cool.
You was outside.
Yeah, I was outside for a long time. And I would do it all over again if I could. Facts.
You got one foot in and one foot out the streets, don't you? You on the block.
Hey, it was a good time while I had it, but you know, now we trying to keep it cute.
He looking for his wife, y'all. You like people sliding your DMs?
Sliding in DMs? No.
Yeah, he wants y'all to.
Nah, like okay, nah. I ain't gonna say I be sliding the DMs. DMs closed.
No, I'm talking about. Do you want the ladies to slide? After this, they might just like they might. Hey, they might. Yeah, that's Christian, the husband. Not CDK, but Christian is a husband. You never know.
The DMs closed for right now.
DMs are closed, ladies. I'm sorry, I lied to y'all. DMs are closed. Let's get some snaps.
Slaps for the closed DMs.
Snaps for the closed DMs. Snaps for the entertainment industry. I love this. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me up here, though. Like,
of
to
course.
really be able to share my story authentically and like let people know what's really going on. And we talked about a lot of things that people don't really talk about, which is like balance, like a big one. And then like I feel like people always try to like portray their career as it's always been here.
Yeah.
And it's like that's not the reality.
It's not how it starts. It's always a starting point.
Yeah.
But also it just depends on your upbringing. Like you had parents that supported you, that pushed you to where you want to be. Having Christ in your life, like all of those are certain elements that are necessary if you want to obtain the things that you want. What in the Bible it says, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, all things will be granted unto you. So that was tea.
Come on now.
I'm clipping that. Yes. I'm clipping that. Yes. But no, yeah, I definitely am very happy and grateful that you were able to come on the platform, share your experiences. You said something that really just stood out to me. Do you think people perceive you a different way on social media than how you are in real life?
Not necessarily. Used to.
Okay.
Now I feel like I'm an open book. Like I feel like my career is really transparent. But I really do ask people that. Like I'd be like, what did you think? No, actually I'm lying. People do think sometimes that like, I could be standoffish. Like I guess based off social media and like being the environments that I'm around, they would assume that I don't do everyday things with like people. And it's like, nah, like I pop outside, like I'm cool. Like, I'm just real cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I've always been that. So And I'm a fun guy. Like, I have a good time. I love to have a good time. So if you want to have a good time, you need to come pop over here. You know what I'm saying?
He said, come with him to the streets, y'all.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? You want to have a good time. I'm a good time. You know what I'm saying? Nah, but I do want to know that, though, sometimes. So, I mean, I guess I'll leave it up to the people to know. Like, if you perceive me a different way on social media, and if you've never met me in person on a personal level outside of a business setting, then.
Yeah. No, I can see that. I think I didn't really know this until I became an ASL my junior year of college. And the current friend group I have now, and some other people thought that I was like mean. Like I just gave
For real?
I was like, who, me?
Yeah.
Like, I did not give off mean. Like, I don't know. Was it my face? Was it? I can't understand because you know me since freshman year.
Yeah.
So I think freshman year, just stick with that. Freshman year was a different experience for me, but versus now, I would think by junior year, senior year, I was like.
In what way though? Like, what was different about your freshman year?
Oh, this is where the PR training and journalism comes in. I would just say the environment I was around, what I was okay with, what I was surrounded with around the time, in that particular time frame was just a very much lit like time in my life, but also it just kind of gave off like people literally thought I was like a part of this mean girl group. Like
okay.
That
not
like you yeah.
Not reading the room. Okay.
And I did not know that until stepping outside the group, which genuinely still love them all. Shout out to them. No bad blood, of course. But the difference in relationships that I had freshman year in the outcome that it looked like with those friend group was completely different than how it looks with the current friend group that I have, which I 100% understand. Which also I think is great to mention that females friendships for females in college, even high school, change so frequently, and guys will have the same friends.
Bro, yeah, I couldn't
guys
be a
will
woman,
have the
bro.
same
I ain't gonna
friends
lie.
from the start of freshman year being in the dorms together all the way up until past graduation.
I ain't gonna lie. So I was on TikTok today, and I saw a video, and people were sending me a video about like a girl that had went on social media talking about how she wasn't gonna post their friends for their birthdays. And I'm like, as men, like, why is this even a conversation? Like, we do not care. like the fact that this has to be a public service announcement, and people were really like arguing and debating in the conversation. I'm like, bro, who cares? Like,
this
it's not
girl
that,
stuff.
but yeah, girl stuff. Like, even with like guys, if we disclose information, we tell you what we want you to know. I'm not gonna dig any deeper.
Yeah.
If you want me to know anything, I'm gonna leave it at that. But girls be like, well, why did this happen? Or what about this? And even my mom do that. I'm like, bro. She be like, why don't you ask questions? I'm like, because I don't care. Like, if they wanted me to know, they would tell me. Like, I don't really know. Like, I'm not finna be digging and being nosy. And then my question when people ask me questions is, what are you doing with this information?
Yeah.
How does this move anything forward? Like, what does this do to move the deal other than you just want to know? Okay, so you're being nosy. Got you. Got you.
Just being nosy. Yeah, like, even the conversation about like birthday dinners and why is your homegirl dressing better than you? You knew it was your birthday.
Splitting the bill. It's like, bro, like, yo, pay for what you ate.
If your man comes, why is your man not paying for
18 people?
Why would my man pay
I'm like,
for
bro, if it's me, you, and your friend, all right, cool. But, and maybe, depends on who the friend is, like where we are, what the environment is. But if it's me and 18 girls, why is this even a conversation?
Yeah.
Like, no.
That'd be weird.
But see this thing, this part of like men like not like standing up to, like, and you pick the woman that you choose to deal with, but it's like, you also have to know who's on your financial level and who's also, you know what I'm saying, on your level as far as like your mental and your values and morals. And also being able to like understand that everybody that's attracted to you don't have to date. I had to learn that.
Ooh, clipping that. Yeah, let me tell you, you do not have to engage with everyone that is attractive, because just because they're attractive on the external level doesn't mean that internally they are what you need.
Hey, I think that's a great way to land. Hey.
Christian. I'm going to call you CDK. Christian.
Hey, I had to learn that lesson. I ain't going to lie.
That's a good lesson.
It comes with experience, though.
It comes with experience. It's okay, guys. If you guys are relating to this, it's open. And we do not judge. Snaps for not judging.
Snaps for we listen and we don't judge.
I'm having so much fun. I don't want to leave. But we got to go. Because we'll be here for another hour.
For real, though.
No, yes. But giving you your flowers. You're doing amazing work.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you. I'm very, very excited for what's coming for you and what you're going to continue to do. And period to you.
Period.
Shapirian. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for another great episode of Beyond the Diploma. Make sure you guys share this with your mommy, your daddy, your grandma, your granddad, aunties and uncles, your dogs, if they're going to sit down and watch. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.